Alright guys, welcome back to your 20-second XHTML and CSS tutorial, and as promised, I'm going to be talking to you guys about borders. And I'm not talking about like the Mexican US border, I'm talking about borders in CSS. Now, as I mentioned before, or at least I think I mentioned this before, the border is the area that surrounds or basically it outlines the padding. So what I did before this tutorial is I just set the overall padding to 15 pixels, so we have the content and we have 15 pixels of padding around it. So now what I need to do is show you guys what a border is. So let me make one of the ugliest borders ever. I'm just going to make it stand out, and I'm going to make like a red border or something. So the border, you think you might just be able to type border and type a red, but you can't just do that. Border actually has three properties that you need to set in order to make a border. The first one is border color, and let's just go ahead and set this equal to red. That should look pretty good. And the second one is width. How wide or thick do you want your border? And that's border width, and I'm just going to make mine like 3 pixels or something. That'll be good enough. And the last the last element you need to set when working with the border is border style. Now, I think by default it might be solid, but let's see if I can remember. There's dotted, dashed, I think there's one called double, groove, inset, outset, solid. Anyways, you can look them up online if you forget them, but let's go ahead and I'll add a simple one. Border minus style dashed, and this gives you like dotted lines basically. So now let's go ahead and save this and see what we get. When we refresh this, we get a red 3 pixels wide dashed border. Pretty cool, huh? So this kind of actually reminds me of a coupon that you would cut out. So if you're making a website with coupons to love Bucky, then there you go. I just basically made it for you. So that is basically how you do that. And another cool thing I want to mention before I let you guys go is each side can have its own border. So whenever you think of something with a border, you typically think the border is consistent all the way around. But sometimes when you're creating a website, you want the top to be one thing, or maybe you only want a border on the bottom like it's underlined in a cool type of way. So you can do that using some special border properties, and that's this. Say you want to change like the top or something. You can use border minus top minus color and set this equal to like green. That looks good. And now what you can do is like put border minus top minus style, and let's make this one dotted. And now let's go ahead and oh yeah, the width. Border minus top minus width, and set this equal to like 4 pixels. Bump it up a little bit. And if I didn't mess up anything, I should get a nice dotted green 4 pixel border across the top. So this looks pretty ugly right now, but trust me, if you work with it, I mean, most people you just use this when they want to underline something, like if it's like the title of a paragraph or title of an article or something. But I just want to show you guys a quick example, so I made the ugliest website I could possibly make. But anyways, I showed you guys how to do that on the top, but if you just replace this word top with bottom, left, or right, then you guys can see the other effects that it can have. I'm not going to go through bottom, left, and right because it's obvious what it would do. So anyways, that is how you make a border. Whether you want it consistent, you just write border minus the property, or if you want it on one side, you write border minus what side you want minus the property, and then write the value. So anyways, that's basically all there is to borders. Nothing else I can think of. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next tutorial where we're probably going to be covering margin. So I'll see you then.